Hello and welcome to a new Open Series broadcast. My name is Menno Klont and I will be not your commentator today, but I've got a main commentator and that's Joshua Anderson. Joshua, can you hear me?
I indeed can. Hello, Menno.
Oh yeah, we are close to the race and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I am too. It's set to be a really good one. We've got 13 laps of Suzuka coming up. All right, yeah, and it all seems to be going fairly well at least now. But all that is well, and well, I've never done league commentary for Open Series before. This is going to be interesting, but set to be a good race.
Yeah, it will be. We have 8 drivers today, and it's of course, middle in the season. It's what we expect. So yeah, we had a good qualifying. I think the 8 were pretty close, and yeah, we will start soon. We will tell you the grid positions then.
Yeah, only 8 cars on the field, slightly less than we usually have in Open Series, but nonetheless, it is a good looking race. We have a couple of people who have never raced in Open Series before. At least we have one, and a couple of Open Series stalwarts, so to speak. So there's the experience.
Attention grid, all non-essential personnel leave the grid
Get
now.
ourselves going here in Suzuka.
Yeah, that's true, and we shall see who can get the crown here at Suzuka. And it will be very interesting because it's a very difficult track.
And let's not forget as well, the track is still actually slightly damp at the moment on the outside of the racing line because there was rain before. That has now subsided. There isn't any more rain, but the track is still damp, and that is reflected in some of these cars' tyre choices as the 8 cars are about to get their way on the formation lap. It's Paul Joseph on pole position, and he is actually starting on the wet tyres, as you might be able to see as he comes round the first turn. He's on the blue walled wet tyres. Those will obviously displace water, and it might be a safe bet with the standing water that is on the track. Behind him is Wesley Stefano, who qualified in P2, and then Jared van der Weide behind. He is third, the first of the cars that is on the dry slick compound. Now, that is an interesting choice because obviously the track is not fully dry yet, and he has gone on the slick, so he might struggle in some areas on this track, but let's keep an eye on it. Christian Lichtenstein right behind him in P4 is also on the slick dry tyre, and it's Rinkolstra in P5 behind him, also on the dries. And Abdel Damgi, who I think is making his Open Series debut today, will start from position number 6 on the dry tyre also. Marius van Brink is P7, he's on the dries, and Kenneth Ragland rounds out the field in 8th, also on the dries. And hang on, the tyres have just changed actually. Paul Joseph, Wesley Stefano, and everyone's on dries now, so it's just a bit of a visual error there, but everyone will be starting on the dry tyres. I wondered why people started on wets.
Yeah, but we could see that they had wet tires before, but it indeed was changed. I believe Abdel Damgi made his Open Series debut 2 weeks ago at Monza already.
Right. Well,
but
I wasn't there when that happened, so I wouldn't have known that.
yeah, true. But he went pretty well after a long time of not racing. So yeah, he's back, and I expect him to be much closer to the front than he was at Monza. So I think he learned the car a little bit more, and yeah, knowing him a little bit, I think he aims to get into the higher series like FC or Super Cup. But yeah, if he wants to do that, he needs to be faster over one lap at first, and yeah, second he needs to look if he can score a podium or something here in the Open Series. Because yeah, if you can win, you might have a chance to do FC later on, and yeah, that's very interesting, of course. But we're about to start, and we'll see.
All the cars lining up on the field now, all 8 of them gonna get their go on here in Suzuka. As you mentioned, the winner might just get themselves a chance for the Academy car and Formula Challenge if they haven't already. But as Kenneth Ragland just pulls into the box, we wait for the lights to light up. We have 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and here in Suzuka, we are off and away. And it looks like a decent good start from Wesley Stefano, who's actually jumped Paul Joseph at the start here. He's all come round into turn 1, looking like a decent start for the Dutchman, who has now taken the lead from the Scotsman. And Christoph Lichtenstein's got him as well, so Paul Joseph struggling a little bit in the opening few corners here. Jared van der Weide giving him some threat as well, as Adil Damke's gone up the road behind. Rick Hoekstra is giving him some bit of a thought here and trying to get his position up, and Ragland and Van Wyk have swapped positions as well, so Van Wyk now tailing the field. Ragland's just ahead. Rick Hoekstra has made a mistake too. Let's drop further down under the threat of Ragland and Van Wyk. Stefano is pulling away at a rate of knots. He's got 8/10 over Liechtenstein, but they've even got out of 10 out in the first sector here, and Stefano has become round into the hairpin. He's going to give it a big flick left and try to extend that lead even more, but a very good start from Wesley Stefano then. But Paul Joseph, absolutely, he didn't get a good start there. Jared van der Weide is going to take advantage. Van der Weide, of course, has had a go in the Academy car already this season, so we know he's got that Formula Challenge experience, which can prove vital. He's got experience, but not as much as Paul Joseph, obviously, who has had experience in these sort of cars for many seasons gone by and has actually performed very well in the Open Series so far this year. So never want to count out Paul Joseph, but Stefano is making an absolute breakthrough through 130R here and coming around into the Casio Triangle. He has got to be one of the favourites.
Yeah, that's true, and after one lap it's Wesley Stefano who's leading. And this will of course be very interesting because yeah, he went well last race, and yeah, and if he can do it again, it will increase his market value. Josh, what do you think about market value which you build up here in Open Series?
Well, market value, I'd say as you win Open Series races and participate in the Open Series, you get more and more experience, and eventually you might get a chance to take part in the Academy car, you know, so that really, you know, once you've got your first bite of the apple in Formula Challenge, you don't really want to stop eating it, do you? As well, Wesley Stefano just eating his way ahead of Christoph Lichtenstein, the gap just continuing getting bigger and bigger. It's now 1.2 seconds between the two, but the gap between Joseph and Van der Weide and Lichtenstein is not going anywhere anyway quickly. This is a fight for P2 between 3 cars. Van der Weide right down the back there of that group, but waiting for a potential mistake from either Joseph or Lichtenstein.
A mistake, I think.
That is Kenneth Ragland has just gone round there. He has not had a good run out of that corner. Let's see what happened. I'm just going back. Oh yeah, he came through. He just went a bit. This is a bit too hot coming under out turn 9 past the Decker curve, and that has not helped his cause. Now a fair bit behind Marius van Wyk.
Oh, Paul Joseph off the track.
Joseph off as well. He's lost the position to Van der Weide. So let's see, it was Joseph and Van der Weide, and Paul Joseph went inside. Then he took too much to the outside as well, and let Jared through. So that has not quite gone the Scotsman's way, and Van der Weide up in P3. So that is put Paul Joseph down a place. You'll want to get that back as soon as possible. There's a bit of a gap formed between the two now. Arnold is still the dominant force here as he crosses the line to start the 3rd lap of the race. The gap is now 2.3 seconds between him and Lichtenstein. It's just getting bigger and bigger, isn't it, Menno?
Yeah, it's getting bigger and bigger, and that's a good thing for Wesley, bad thing for the others, of course. But yeah, it's look like Wesley is very good, and he's learning every race. Like last race he won, and it looks like he could like make another step for here in Suzuka. Maybe not over 1 lap, but yeah, he seems to have it all under control, and we shall see if he can get that second win, which yeah will increase his market value. I think if he wins here today, he possibly will be in the FC car from Academy, which he would have been driven earlier, but I had a computer problem. So hopefully that's fixed and we can see him in FC soon. And I think with his talent, I think he deserves to be in FC. And yeah, I don't know how he will do there because the FC field is much stronger, but I don't think he will be slow. I think he will be he will be quite good, and yeah, that makes sense. That FC talents did learn it at Open Series.
Yeah, that's the point. It's why we brought the Open Series in, and engineering talent to give people who don't necessarily get a Formula Challenge seat on the first go a chance to shine. And it serves as a feeder series in that sense, but it also serves as a series where anyone who might be new to the GPVWC can really prove their worth and show why they are indeed worthy of gaining a Formula Challenge seat. Stefano is certainly proving as he's extended the gap to get to 3.7 seconds. He's a bit of a runaway train at the moment. That much is certain, but Liechtenstein not going to give up. He might be losing ground, but all it takes is one mistake from Stefano and that gap will come crashing down. And Jared van der Weijden not necessarily going to give up as well, while the gap between him and Paul Joseph is coming down, and fairly certain he was confident he can keep that third place. Jared, very, very confident. I think he's gaining confidence now, Menno, that he's been driving in the Open Series, and he's had some very good performances.
Yeah, that's true, and Jared, he won a race as well, and yeah, you see him, he's learning still, but yeah, he's getting better and better, and yeah, I think that's good to see. I don't know the age of Jared, but I think he's pretty young, and he's still young. That's a better word to say it, and I think in a few years he will get to an even better level, and yeah, and then the Open Series for him was a support as well.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. He's absolutely closed the gap down to Liechtenstein here. We've got a battle on for P2 as a result between the German and the Australian. And, well, it'll be an interesting one because Liechtenstein, former Super Cup champion, he's been doing quite well in Open Series, getting used to our Factor 2 and enjoying himself in this meantime. And Van der Weijden has been improving his skills as well. I think it really is the only place in GPVWC we'll see a former Super Cup champion take on a relative rookie or newcomer, but Van der Weijden, no slouch in this place, as he's proving by the fact that he's caught Liechtenstein and Paul Joseph behind them, multiple FC race participants. He is really giving it the goods here as well on the both of them, so don't rule Joseph out this three-way fight either. In fact, don't rule him out because he's actually trying to catch Van der Weijden and pass him and have a go at Liechtenstein himself. I mean, this is possibly the best thing that Christoph Liechtenstein can hope for Van der Weijden and Joseph to battle it out, because they'll slow themselves down and it gives Christoph a chance to edge ahead.
That's true, and it's a three-way battle for P2 and P3, so for now it looks like one will lose out on the podium, but you never know. But yeah, it's very close. Well, I see Jared going a bit wide, but yeah, he's trying very, very hard, of course, and that's good to see. But Paul is definitely gaining on both the green cards, and wouldn't be surprised to see him at P2 in P2 at the end of the race.
As I said, he is very experienced. Paul Joseph knows his way around the Formula car, and especially these Formula Challenge cars, which he has driven a lot of times before. Not necessarily on our Factor 2, but
we got a battle for P5, a battle for P5.
We do have a battle on P5. Yes, Ray Colstra is, of course, right into Abdel Dandy. Is going for the top 5 place. Ray Colstra, of course, related to Upke, who, has done very well in Open Series and other series of GPV as well. Rink being brought into Open Series not long ago and has really started to pick up the pace this year in our Factor 2. He's really started to show his worth and improve as a driver. And, one possibly for the future, Rink, because he's quite solid, if anything, as I see. Jared van der Weijden has actually gone off. So that has promoted Paul Joseph into P3 and given him a shot at Christoph Liechtenstein. So Jared has made some sort of mistake there.
Another mistake from Abdel. A mistake from Abdel, who cut the corner. What he will do?
He's got to give the place back to Rink there, and he's made an advantage. He's given the advantage back. Will now chase back on Rink. But to go back to Van der Weijden's incident, he came into the Casio triangle. I think he just came a bit too hot into the second turn. He made contact with Liechtenstein and went round. So that has not helped Jared's cause, and he is now fallen right behind. Now it's Liechtenstein versus Joseph for P2, and Rink Colstra has gotten ahead of Danby, as we alluded to. So, you know, on lap 6, Wesley Stefano still running away with old contact, I think, between Joseph and Liechtenstein there. If I go back and have a look at that, oh no, it was Liechtenstein who came too hot into Degner and he's lost time as a result. And Joseph has got right back onto the back of him again.
I noticed something else. Wrong setup at Abdel Damgi. I think he has too short gear ratios.
Yeah. He has
He will only go like 253 kilometers on the main straight, and that's not good enough. I think he expected maybe the rain, and then it would have been better, I think. But now it's too less. And yeah, it will be very difficult. Well, we'll have a battle for P2. This will be very interesting. Christoph against Paul. Two guys who drove a lot of races. I think got pole, but never won a race. Both didn't win a race. And yeah, now it looks like they will not win it because Wesley is just away.
He's just steamrolling everyone, isn't he? He's 11.8 seconds ahead of Christoph. And it shows how dominant he's been this race as Liechtenstein has to go defensive here, and it hasn't quite worked out for the German, but it does work out in the end, but it didn't initially. But then again, Paul Joseph not giving up, Mr. Scotland. He's still fighting at him, and well, this is an enthralling race in its own right. I think probably the best battle we've got going on at the moment is Joseph Liechtenstein, and Jared Van der Weide is making inroads on both of them. He's starting to recover from his mistake and is giving it a go. We've just got Wesley Morris in actually, but he's too late in the party because the race is half done. So he's missed out, unfortunately. Wesley Morris won't be taking part in this race. He has just missed out. But, you know, 8 cars nonetheless, still a good enough little field. We've still got Danny Ragland going on. This potentially developing battle at the back. But Liechtenstein, Joseph, Van der Weide is now closed the gap right up. So this is going to be a case of can Jared do it? It is starting to pull away, Christoph Liechtenstein. It's more like about the third than it's about the second. With Joseph an ever-present threat in the rear-view mirror of the German, and not going to go away without some very, very good driving from the former Super Cup champion. But mind you, Van der Weide, to have recovered from that mistake, he has done very well to do that, and a podium on the cards against the Australian. As it comes through into the Casio triangle, it's going to be braking for Van der Weide, braking for Joseph, otherwise he just goes straight on, of course. But he is starting to close in, isn't he, Menno? He's showing his tenacity by closing up again.
Yeah, he's closing in. It's getting again a good battle, and yeah, Gerard looks very good. But I think that says enough about the battle for P2. They lost a lot of time because of it, and yeah, it made Gerard, who makes a mistake now. He had the chance to get back, but I think he needs to start all over again because he made a huge mistake into turn 1.
Well, it might have been the mistake before that hurt his tyres a bit, and that be offsetting the grip balance of the car. Maybe he's just feeling a bit of pressure to get into P3. But either which way, he has set himself back again as Jared Van der Weide, and he's going to have to do all that hard work over again. He can catch Joseph, and then he's got to overtake him. It's looking more and more like the Scotsman is going to get P3, but as I've kept saying, don't count out the Australian. He has won Formula, he has won races in these OS cars, Formula Challenge spec cars, of course, the same spec as they use in Formula Challenge, has won races in Open Series, so he knows how to drive these cars well. Liechtenstein though really making the case for P2. The gap between him and Joseph currently only 4/10 in the last split, but I have a sneaking suspicion it'll be a bit more as they come through the next intermediate, and we'll see exactly how it shapes up to be between the two. I think it's probably going to stay similar again, but nonetheless, Liechtenstein, Joseph, and rallying battle. Liechtenstein, oh well, Joseph's got a big straight line speed advantage. He's not going to go around the outs. No, he's not going to go around the outside of 130R. Tried to do it Fernando Alonso, but it didn't work. The gap just a 10th at the next split though, so these two are really close together at the moment, Joseph and Liechtenstein. Paul Joseph with a huge speed advantage on the straights, likely to get it done into turn 1 here then.
I don't know about that, but we shall see.
He's got 5 kilometers an hour at least as we go into turn 1. He's probably not going to get it done, but he's going to make a good chunk out of that gap that he's got. And in the high speed sections, Joseph has really got the advantage here. That must be because he's running lower wings, but that means Liechtenstein, in the likes of the hairpin and the Casio triangle, is going to have the advantage. Because Joseph does not have as much aerodynamic grip to go off, so in the lower corners, in the slower corners, he is not going to be as well off, and he'll be even worse off in the fast corners. And again, he is catching on Joseph, and on the straights, he will be on very, very good form indeed to go through Detner now. Medium speed corner this. Remember, more downforce means more stability. It works better the faster you go, so in fast corners, Joseph will suffer, but on the straights, he'll do well because he needs more drag as he tries! Tries hard and no contact now! Well, that was a bit of an incident there, coming out of the hairpin. That was a bit of an interesting one, going into 200 to go back to that, Joseph went a bit too deep and touched wheels with Liechtenstein, and then Van der Weyden went round as well. He got a bit oversteery. Van der Weyden has gone through into third, and Liechtenstein has taken advantage of all that and started to run the gap again. Well, it's just one of those mistakes, isn't it, that kind of leads to a chain reaction, but now it's a battle for P3 again between Joseph and Van der Weyden, and it's going to be a case of Paul Joseph's got to make the move done again. I tell you what though, it has been an absolutely dominant race from, well, I was about to get to that, but Van der Weyden's made another mistake. Unfortunately, he's dropped back to fourth, and now it has been the story of his race, being in good positions then making mistakes. Jared has got to sort this out if he wants to get back into P3, but to go back to my point, Wesley Stefano is just steamrolling everybody here today. He's 20 seconds ahead of Christoph Liechtenstein, and that says, I think it says enough about why he deserves this seat in the Academy car. If he can do this to the Open Series, he can be a real threat in Formula Challenge. I mean, there's been 10 laps. He's on average 2 seconds a lap quicker than Liechtenstein.
Yeah, he's very impressive, but yeah, he doesn't need to battle, and the others are battling very hard, so that's of course also why he got that lead. But yeah, he's impressive today, and I think this is even better than he did in Monza, so this looking very good for Wesley as well.
Yeah, he's just got into that rhythm now, hasn't he? He's got into a rhythm, he's able to hold it, he doesn't have to worry about anyone on track. Nothing's going to break that rhythm, and he's just using it to pull such a gap out of the bag here. In fact, he doesn't even have to worry about lapping people, because the last car on track, Marius van Vink, is coming around that first corner, and Stefano's coming down the last. We've got a whole front straight in front of him. Actually, Stefano won't have to worry about Van Vink for a while yet, because there's a whole front straight between the two cars. Van Vink just coming around the 4, 5, 6 complex, and Stefano going into the first 10. That is how far away even those two are. So, you know, it has been his race. But go back to P3. Liechtenstein, Joseph has gone obviously through because of the mistake from Van der Weyden. But Joseph and Liechtenstein about to have another little battle here. And they have really shown us how to battle, haven't they, Liechtenstein and Joseph?
Yeah, they're battling very good. But yeah, I see that Jared can still catch them. So it will be interesting.
It's really been a 101 of how to fight on track between these two. It's been a sublime example, a supreme example. And both, of course, very seasoned veterans in these Formula cars. They know what to do, and when you put two people who are experienced in a battle, you always end up with results. As Joseph, he's not going to try into the Decker section, but he's going to put pressure on Liechtenstein, potentially force a mistake and go through into the hairpin. But it's not happened for him, and well, he's got the dive bomb, he's not going to go and get it now, but he is going to close in, which is what the Scotsman wanted. Van der Weyden is caught up again, but unless he stops making mistakes, he's not going to get through. That is the crucial thing about Jared. He's got the pace, but he's just too accident mistake-prone this race to really go through, as harsh as it may sound. It's the truth, unfortunately. He's been in positions to score thirds and seconds, and he's made mistakes. Needs to just...
A good exit for Paul. A good exit for Paul.
Yeah, it has an... Oh, Rick Holster's having a bit massive up there. He's completely cut the corner. What happened there is that he's gone through, he's got a...
Yeah, yes! Oh! Oh!
Menno's almost having an aneurysm there as Paul Joseph goes through to P2. Liechtenstein tries to get it back. Van der Weide makes him a slight error and he's down into P4. But yeah, Paul Joseph has got the position and then some. Wesley Stefano starting the second to last lap, but just a word for Rick Holmstra. I saw him absolutely go flat out.
Yeah.
He overshot that massively and lost his front wing. He overshot that, went through, and then spun round. I think he lost a position or got lapped, and then locked up, and then didn't make the next subsequent turn. So Rick is probably going to have to pit to get that damage fixed because it has severely affected the pace of his car and his handling capability. Didn't actually go on pace, must have been lapped by somebody as Rick does elect to come into pits then. So we got this battle on for P3 between Liechtenstein and Van der Weide. Paul Joseph's making a break for it now. He's got the track position and he's not going to give it up that easily. But we got Liechtenstein and Van der Weide both going for each other now. And Jared has got to stop making these mistakes, as I alluded to. He wants to hold P3 because we know he's got the pace to get it, but he hasn't had the opportunity to hold P3.
Yeah, I must say that was the move of the race from Paul into the 130R, and yeah, wow, that was amazing. Paul spins! Paul spins!
And he gets collected by Liechtenstein and Van der Weide. That has gone disastrously wrong.
And they lose a wing. I think they need to pit, or they can do one more lap. I think.
Well, Van der Weide has lost his wing. Joseph lost his wing. Liechtenstein, that is a blessing for the German. Joseph got too much on the outside curb. He spun. Liechtenstein lost an end plate. Paul Joseph and Jared Weiner lost all of the front wings. And, well, disaster for those two, but a blessing for Liechtenstein, who actually elects to pit. This is unprecedented. He could have stayed out. He didn't have that much damage. He hasn't actually lost his front wing. He only lost an end plate, but he's pitted nonetheless. Joseph has stayed out, and rightly so. He does not want to miss this chance, but Wesley Stefano and all this has started the last lap of what has been a dominant race for the Dutchman.
This is very, very interesting because Christoph can go full throttle into the whole of the track, while Paul has a lot of problems, I think.
Well, Jared is still getting his car fixed. Paul Joseph is going to go around. He's probably going to lose P2 to Liechtenstein. In his defence, he only lost an end plate, so he probably could have continued on as if nothing happened and held that P2, but he's going to get it anyway because he probably saw that Joseph lost his front wing, so there wouldn't have really been any pain in doing that. But Wesley Stefano is coming around into 130R. He has led a dominant race and he's going to take a huge victory. Coming into the Casio Triangle then for the final time. Wesley Stefano, he didn't start on pole, but he took first going into the first corner. He rounds the final turn. It is a win for Holland and Wesley Stefano here at Suzuka. He has done an absolute dream job, and it's going to be 46 seconds or more before Paul Joseph even gets to the finish line.
That's
but
true.
Abdel Damghi has just crossed in last place. He was a lapped car, or a near-lapped car. Marius van Wink is obviously going to be P7. Rink Hoekstra P6. Kenneth Ragland's going to recover to P5. Jared van der Weide are going to be P4 after that incident. Liechtenstein Joseph is where we're going to be watching though, because there's quite a bit between the two of them, and I think Paul Joseph is going to hang on. Be amazing if he did, with all that damage on his car. But yeah, there is an ocean between these two of at least 5 seconds. That's probably not going to be enough for Liechtenstein to make up in the time that he has. So Paul Joseph, even after an incident that almost ruined proceedings for the Scotsman, is going to finish P2, and what a race that has been for him. Liechtenstein elected to change his front wing. Probably could have got P2 if he hadn't, but P3 still respectable for the German. And Jared van der Weide, well, he can't seem to escape bad luck in this race, but a P4 will still be respectable for the Australian.
And I've got a bit of a feeling that it was not because of damage. I think maybe it was because of fuel that Christoph needed to pit, because I think the car was good enough for him to do that final lap. So it might have been fuel. So yeah, we'll hear later from Christoph. But yeah, it was a good battle. Only it was a bit unlucky. And yeah, that's racing, I think we should say.
Well, it is
yeah.
racing. Sometimes this sort of thing happens, but it's been an interesting Open Series race to say the least, hasn't it?
It was very interesting with Wesley as a winner.
Yeah, Wesley Stefano, the winner of the Suzuka Open Series race. He will likely get a chance in the Academy car next time around. But he has done an absolute stunner job, a stellar job. He's done well. He's won. That's what it is. He's won the race, and he's going to prove his potential with the big boys in Formula Challenge very soon, likely. But that brings another Open Series broadcast to an end. I'd just like to thank Menno Klont for doing cameras and cool comms. But from me and Menno, until the next time, it's very much sayonara.
Sayonara, and we will see you in 2 weeks at the race in Abu Dhabi. Bye bye!